right, let's get some Jesus going. I think today we're going to go over Joseph, the story of Joseph in the Bible. So, with the story of Joseph, Joseph is the second youngest out of like 12 kids, and he was his father Jacob's favorite son. So, because of that, his dad gave him like some super nice rainbow fitted coat that was just awesome, and he was just like mad flexing on all of his siblings. And siblings kind of jealous, like a lot of parents try not to play favorite, but when they do have a favorite, you kind of know that they're the favorite, and Jacob was definitely the favorite. So with that, siblings weren't a big fan of him, and one day Joseph's like, "Hey guys, I just had a dream." So Joseph's like, "Guys, I have a dream." They're like, "What is it, Joseph? What's your dream?" Haters. And so Joseph, though, he's kind of anointed. Not only does his dad love him, but God loves him. Very protected by God, and he worships God, and he loves God, so it's all gravy. Family, or siblings rather, bunch of haters though. So when he tells them in his dream that I saw my family like bowing to my feet, all of them kind of took it the wrong way. And they, you already don't like your little brother, and your little brother says you're about to bow to me. They're just like, nah, like, what are we gonna do with this guy? So they all get together and they're all like, what are we gonna do? And one of them was like, let's just kill him, dude. Let's get him out of here. I don't like this guy. And one of the other brothers was like, yo, no, chill. We just gotta get rid of him. So they push him into a well. So Joseph's just at the bottom of the well, chilling, and his brothers are going like, can we just keep him in there forever? What are we gonna do with him? And as they're thinking, some guys who are slave traders come by, and they're like, why don't we just sell him to those guys? He's out of our hair. We don't got to worry about him. I mean, you got him at the bottom of the well. What are you gonna do? Just keep on throwing up scraps until he dies, or just leave him there? And they're like, nah. We said we weren't gonna kill him, so it's like, we'll just sell him. He's out of our hair. Don't gotta worry about him anymore. At that point, whatever happens to him happens to him. So they're like, wait, shouldn't we make like a group decision? Some of the brothers weren't there. They're like, nah, everyone will be cool with it. So they just take Joseph out the well, sell him to these slave traders, and I think they sold him for like 20 pieces of silver or something like that. And they're just like, later, bro. And he gets taken all the way to Egypt. So they sell their brother. They take off his jacket though. They put some blood on it, and they give it to their dad, Jacob, and they're like, yo, we found this out in the woods, I don't know what happened. I guess he's dead. And then, dad's sad because, he was the favorite, and, they kind of just go on to live their life. Back to Joseph, though. He actually gets picked up by the Pharaoh's assistant, super wealthy dude, right? And Joseph, extremely hard worker, making the best of his situations. He's just, giving all glory to God no matter what, and he just keeps on doing his thing. And, the guy can't help but love Joseph. So even though he's Joseph's slave, he's like, you know what, you're in charge of all of this stuff. He's wealthy, right? So he puts him in charge of his properties, and he's just like, yeah, you know what, you're taken care of. But now Joseph just can't catch a break. The devil, he be coming at my boy and just tries to knock him down over and over again. While Joseph is, he's doing a great job taking over, having all these responsibilities, and his master's wife is like, yo, Joseph, you kind of a baddie. Let's go to the back room, man, And Joseph's like, no. First of all, you married. Second of all, you married to like my master. Why am I tripping? No, that's against everything that God teaches me. And she's like, that's fine. And he's like, all right, cool. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell everyone you raped me. And he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, no, you raped me. And he's like, huh? And then grab him. He's accused of rape, you know what I'm saying? Boom, straight to prison. Poor Joseph. So Joseph, straight to jail. He's in jail. Then there's two other people in jail with him, right? And one of them used to be the Pharaoh's assistant, and the other one was a baker. and they're talking about weird dreams they've been having. And Joseph is like, because Joseph's beast, man. He just be mad likable everywhere he goes, and he's just trying to help and be someone good. And he's just like, well, what's your dreams? Maybe I can help you out. And the guy was like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, well, not me personally. God works through me. He helps me interpret dreams. He'll tell me what your dreams mean. And so one guy's like, all right, and tells him his dream. And he's like, all right, well, look. Joseph says, my God is telling me that you're gonna be released in 3 days. And the guy looks at him like, yeah, right. And he's like, but no, seriously, like, this is what's gonna happen. You're going to get released in 3 days. But can you just do me a favor? And when you do get released, can you tell the Pharaoh that, just to get me out, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So 3 days come and go, right? And sure enough, the slave of the Pharaoh gets released and goes back to working for the Pharaoh, just like Joseph, said in his dream interpretation. Unfortunately for Joseph, though, once the guy got out, he completely forgot about the whole "I'm gonna tell the Pharaoh about you so you can get out of here." And Joseph spends 2 years, man, 2 years just chilling in the cell, But then, right, the Pharaoh one day starts having these really weird dreams, and no one knows how to interpret it. And at that moment, his slave, the one that was in jail with Joseph, 2 years later, goes like, you know what? I know a guy. I think he's in jail still. So they go to the jail. They take out Joseph, and they're like, here's the dream. What can you tell me about it? So Joseph's like, all right, look, man, it's not me. First and foremost, let's get that out of the way. I'm just a regular person. God's the one who does all this stuff. He just uses me. All right. So what's your dream? And the Pharaoh tells Joseph, my dream is that I have 7 fat cows eating grass. And then 7 skinny, bony cows come out the Nile and then swallow the 7 fat cows. And he's like, Joseph, what is your God saying about that? And Joseph's like, all right, let me see. It's all God. And God tells him. He says, look, this is what my God's telling me. He's saying that the 7 fat cows are prosperity, years of prosperity that we're in right now. But they're going to be followed by 7 years of famine. That's the skinny cows. And the Pharaoh's like, dang. So what are we going to do about that? So Joseph looks at the Pharaoh and is like, relax, we're not doomed or anything. It's fine. Like God said, excess. We're in a time of abundance for 7 years. So we just got to be smart about it. As long as we, use this time wisely, we can take all this extra, right? All this fat, we can save it. We can put it to the side, build some storages so we're good so that we can pull out later. So we're not going to have in the future, but we got too much right now. We can go at it. So we'll take that extra. We'll use that in the future and we'll get by just fine. So what God's telling me, I'm letting you know. And the Pharaoh looks at Joseph and is like, you know what, man? I like you. Matter of fact, you in charge of all this. Don't let us fail. Like, you're amazing. And then Joseph one more time goes like, hey, man, it's not me. I'm regular schmegular. This is all God. He just uses me, man. But yeah, I'll make this happen. We good. So sure enough, for this next 7 years, Joseph is in charge. He's just, storing up all the food, making sure that everyone's going to be good. And in this time when he's kind of running things, he's like second in command right underneath the Pharaoh. Everyone just like loves Joseph, like, lovable dude, right? Everyone likes him. He's hardworking and good looking, apparently, because, old girl thought he was a baddie. So he earns like a level of respect and admiration from everybody for the next 7 years. And then sure enough, when that famine happens, all of like the neighboring places outside of Egypt are messed up, right? They didn't know that the famine was coming, but Egypt is big chilling. They got mad food because they saw it coming. God told Joseph told the Pharaoh, and they were just super prepared. And because of that, they had so much extra and excess that they're able to get some and just, sell it to the people outside of Egypt and, take care of them too. Make sure that they're not all, wiped out, because the famine killed all of their livestock, killed all their crops, dried up water. Bad time, right? And guess who showed up asking for some food? That's right. So, of all the people that show up, Joseph's brothers show up too, the same ones that sold him into slavery. And they see some guy sitting down, overseeing everything, right? Dressed in like the royal fit. And they go up to him and they bow down to him. And they don't even realize that it's Joseph, right? And Joseph's looking at these guys and he immediately recognizes them as his brothers. Because it's been 10 years, right? But he's like, no, those are my brothers. And then he laughs and it's in his head. And he's just like, wow, look at these guys bowing down to me just like God said. So Joseph's like, get up, guys. Who are you? And they say, from the spot outside of Egypt, and famine, it really hit our family, and this isn't even all of us. We got a little brother and a dad at home still, and we're just really struggling out here. And then Joseph looks at him and is like, you sure y'all ain't spies or something that mean harm to my city, like my people? And they're like, no, we swear, we just need the food, we out here struggling like everybody else. And Joseph goes like, all right, look, I shall give you, I'll sell the grains to you. I'll sell you the grains to you. But next time you run out, I need you to bring your dad and your little brother too. I want to see all y'all. All right? Can you do me that favor? And they're like, yeah, anything. Thank you so much for helping us. So then they go back, eat up all that food. And when they need to go get some more, they come back to Egypt with everybody this time. So they get back to Joseph, and Joseph's waiting there, and he sees his dad and his little brother too, and the rest of his brothers, and he's just extremely happy, and he can't help but he reveals himself, and he says, "It's me, Joseph, the one y'all sold. It's me." And his brother's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We're so sorry, Joseph." And he's like, "Don't even worry about it. It's cool. It's all part of God's plan." He's like, "Look where it put me. I got in a position where I helped the Pharaoh." Saved a bunch of people in Egypt, and now we have so much excess, we're saving a bunch of other people too. It's like all water under the bridge, y'all. It's cool. We're good. It's just the way it was meant to be. And so that's pretty much the story right there. He invites them to come live with him because he's kind of like a top dog in Egypt, and then they all move into Egypt. But that's the story of Joseph. I love this story because it just shows that even if you are giving yourself to the Lord, right? Even if you are, doing everything right, things will still happen bad to you, in this life. Unfortunately, that there is sin. It's not a perfect world. We gave that up when we left the garden, right? So bad stuff happens to good people. However, it's always the stuff that's supposed to be happening to you. It's your journey. It's your path. And you're eventually going to get where you're supposed to be. Even if it doesn't seem like anything in your life is going the way it's supposed to be, and you feel like you're hitting walls or setbacks and you're getting knocked down over and over again, just keep your eyes on the Lord, keep moving forward, and eventually you'll be right where you're supposed to be every single time. All right? Because look at Joseph, right? He took mad L's, and all he was ever doing was trying to worship God and put him, gave nothing but glory and respect to him. He still got sold into slavery. He still got falsely accused of rape. He still got forgotten in the prison for 2 years. He just is getting setback after setback. But it was all there were setbacks in like his perspective of his life. He was just like, when you're going through time, you're like, oh man, this sucks. This isn't good. But in the long run, it got him right where he needed to be, so that dream that he had years back, right, could finally come into fruition, right? So, because God's got a plan. Just let go, let God, surrender to his plan, and just keep walking in faith, all right? Walk in faith, and you're going to be fine. Right? Because I'm ending with a little verse, right? 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, we walk by faith, not by sight. Right? We're walking through things, and we might not understand anything that's going on. Or it might be looking like everything's falling apart. But that's just because we don't understand it, right? Even if we do see it, we ain't going to understand it. Just have faith. It's all part of the process. Just taking your steps closer to God, and he'll take you in your steps closer to wherever you're meant to be. Simple. Let go. Let God. Stay blessed, y'all.